Happy Thursday. We're in November. We all happy that we're not getting text messages and stuff in the mail anymore? How do they get our phone numbers? That really pisses me off, right? How do they get to text us?
Not from title.
Right? Like a farm list from that, you know? But yeah, it's, so I don't know which side of the thing you were on. I don't care. But it's over. And we'll see what happens, I guess, you know? What do you think is going to happen in the next 2 months before the administration changes? Any thoughts? Stay the same, get better, get worse? Better? How? What's going to get better? Interest rates?
We'll have better energy.
Better energy, okay. Or he or she or whatever that is. You know? There you go. Yeah. I think the next 2 months are going to kind of be the same, but I think interest rates are going to go up. I think they're going to hit 8. I hope not, but I got to feel it. Because it's funny, when the stock market does great, just so you guys know, that's bad for mortgage rates. Mortgage rates go up. So a lot of mortgage people hope for the doom of Wall Street. Because when the stocks tank, mortgage rates go down with it. So it's kind of a weird thing we have with stocks and bonds. So, but rates are probably going to go up, and inventory is probably going to go up. And I'm anxious to see next year with the lawsuits. Quick little history thing. Back in 2019, me, Damon, a few other people were down at the NAR convention, and we all had to vote on the lawsuit and this clear cooperation thing. And then at LVR, we had to vote for it, and the vote was to settle the lawsuit with the Department of Justice. They made an offer to LVR, because LVR is being sued separately. And we accepted their offer in November. And then after the election, before January, when Biden took over, the DOJ pulled it. Meaning they were willing to settle when the orange guy was in there. But when Biden got in, they said, nah, we changed our mind. So we're hoping when the orange guy goes back in there in January, maybe, the lawsuits might go away, because he was tan, yeah, whatever it might be. Yeah, so not that I'm taking sides or who I voted for. It doesn't really matter who you guys voted for, but sometimes the Republican president is better for us as an industry. Not always. You know, Kamala was going to give $25,000 to new home buyers, right? That was a good thing, I guess. It was going to come from somebody, but they were going to do that. So, all right. Wishful thinking, right? All right. More important stuff, gang. All right, let's go see what we got here. Before we get to this good-looking guy, we have a few other things to go over here. Where's Chris and where's Nick? Of course, they're not here. The mentees, God forbid. There. Oh, look who's here. There she is. Rising star, Christine Cardozo, everybody. Yeah. I'm sorry, best new agent. The best new agent is the mentee usually in the first 60 days that comes to the classes the most. That's kind of getting involved. Because some people we hire, and we hire them and they're all excited, and then we don't see them for 3 months. You know, like, where'd you go? You got to come to one of these classes or Rev Up. But Chris has come to all of them, so way to go. And Nick is a mentee. He's part-time, but I think he's done, is he off? No. He's done 2 deals. This one was like $600,000, so real good guy. But again, he's a secret agent. We never see Nick, but that's okay. Real quick, we don't have all the numbers for last month yet as far as like the top teams or the top 25, but these are the people that made the $1 Million Club, and particularly the Darren Bryan team. Darren Bryan has been here, I think, since day 1, right, Sue, more or less? Day 2. Yeah, okay. 5 people on his team? 4 or 5? Not too many. It's a family. It's him, his nephew, and 3 or 4 others. They did $14 million last month. $14 million. I said, Darren, how did it happen? He goes, I have no clue. It just happened. People called me, deals closed, cash deals closed in 2 weeks. He goes, I didn't do anything special. It just happened to happen. And they were all from his database, so from his clients. So, 4 people, $14 million. Yikes. Pretty good. Oh, did he? Oh, Marshall Show was a Vegas Golden Knight that we traded, and he had to sell his house, and we're upset that they traded him, but, sad story. It's very sad. We're closed on Monday. Okay, so salute our veterans. If you go to Smith's or Albertsons to give the guy from Vietnam a couple of bucks, if you feel up to do that, it's kind of a nice thing to do. So we're not gonna, but the office is open. Everybody has a key fob, right? Who doesn't have a key fob? Don't raise your hand. I don't want to know who you are, okay? but get a key fob, please. Get a key fob, okay? There's this sheet here. We're going to hand it to Fred, and Fred's going to look at it and maybe fill it out, but I got a feeling Fred won't. That's a form for the Thanksgiving party 2 weeks from today if you want to bring a side dish. We need you to participate. We need potatoes. We need green beans, dressing, mac and cheese, or whatever. So don't feel obligated because I'm handing it to you, Fred, that you have to bring something in, but you could, big guy. There you go. It's too late now. So fill it out. Give us an idea what you're bringing in. Just pass it around. So the more stuff we have, the better. Suzanne's going tomorrow to the turkey guy, pick out the turkeys he's going to give us, for in 2 weeks. So we're going to get 3 or 4 turkeys probably, depending, okay? And that's always fun. So that's the 2 weeks from today. 4 weeks from today is the holiday party. I don't know how many we have, 4 weeks from today. Okay, so sign up, it's $11, goes to charity. If you bring someone, it's only $49, 3 hours, open bar, open food. It's a country theme.
So wear your cowboy boots.
If you think you're going to get brand new cowgirl boots, cowboy boots, you might want to get them now so you can break them in. Yeah.
We'll just have a bunch of 911 on hold after the event. People can't walk, But it should be fun. We haven't done it this way before. Cooper wanted something different instead of the normal get all dressed up kind of thing. So we'll see how this flies. Northwest is doing it the next day at the same place on Friday. So we'll see how it goes. But it should be a lot of fun. Some numbers. You guys have seen these already. This is the last numbers I have for October. If you go to the RJ today, reviewjournal.com, and go to business and housing, there's an article in there from yesterday about October LVR stats. They quote Mary Perry, they quote a couple of realtors. I always used to get that article every month and do a video and send it to my database. 30-second video, hey gang, in case you missed the Review Journal, here's what happened last week on October. And I referenced the article in the email. Okay, it's a real short article, but it has all the numbers, all the stats for October, and they do that just so you know the first week of the following month. So here we are, the first week of November. LVR creates a press release. They give it to the Review Journal, and they put it in the business section. So make sure you kind of take a peek at that. This is November of last year. So November of last year, we had 50, 43, and 1,200. What's that? 5,600 homes on the market. And today we have how many? 8,200. So 82 today and 5,600 last year. So that's a big difference, about 30%, something like that. So inventory is going up, and the numbers are still staying pretty good. Prices aren't going down, but the amount of closings are down, primarily because, what are the rates today? Where's John Morgan? I don't think John's going to come anymore because of the rates. He's actually in the Southwest. But it's funny, I talked to him on Monday. He came in early. We were in there early, like 7 a.m. He goes, Tim, last night I locked the loan at 11 o'clock at night, because he can do that with his company. He has access to the lock desk 24/7. And he goes, a buyer called me Sunday, they were panicking. They wanted me to lock the rate, and I locked it for them. I said, what'd you lock it at? He goes, 7.5. I said, oh, shit, really? 7.5? He goes, because we think they're going to go up to 7 3/4, 7 7/8, or even 8%. So he locked them at 7.5. Like, yikes. So if you have a buyer, that might be the stumbling block for the time being, I'm curious, when Sasha talks, we know Richmond has an in-house lender. I'm curious what the incentives are from their lenders, because usually they're pretty good. Somebody said somebody had a 4.99 lately, a builder. Does that ring a bell, anybody, or am I making this up? Right? See, right?
LGI.
FHA, which builder? Do you remember?
It's LGI is one of them.
LGI, who's LGI?
Or LGT.
Who's LGT? You have no clue, do you?
It's
Okay.
LGI, I think.
LGI what? Homes? Builders?
Yeah, it's on, Martin Luther King and.
Okay, gotcha. You think it's Richmond? We'll find out. Sasha's here from Richmond. We'll find out, All right, gang, what else we got here? We got nothing else here? Okay. All right, let's see. What'd you do, when? Okay, let's try it again. Come on.
Tim, so what are they predicting after the first of the year with the new administration regarding housing? Dates?
I don't know. What do you think's going to happen?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know when we're not working now, Suze. We'll find out, I guess, but usually when there's an administration change, the stock market does well, which is right now. The last 2 days, stock market has been crazy. So if we all have a 401k, you probably made money, Come January, who knows? It's hard to tell. I mean, I think it's going to get better, though. All right,
Well, my sellers seem to think that we need to raise the price now. Well, I'm like, wait, what?
let's not get crazy. All right, gang, my clicker shitted on me here, so sorry about that. Okay, so that's our market share. Make sure you guys know of that. Use it in your listing appointments. It's a good handout. Don't forget fax.realtor. Don't forget the YouTube channel. Everything we do is on YouTube. Everything we do is on YouTube. It's all recorded there. Vianney does a great job making sure it's there. If you can't find something on there, reach out to one of us. We'll show you how to find it. Because there's a lot of videos on there. There's really a lot of videos. There really, really is, okay? Upcoming stuff, that's the calendar. For November and December, you're going to see a lot more white on it, I would think. It's going to get a little quieter. People are going to be taking vacation, going away. So there might not be as many classes. But we're going to have a Thursday meeting every Thursday, okay? Northwest will have a meeting every Tuesday. Green Valley every Tuesday. Mark has his meeting right now in the Southwest. So those meetings are always going to happen. We'll never not do one of those unless there's a reason. Okay. There. Look at that. Look at the. Is this yours? Is this your thing up here, big fella? Look at that. There. Look at you. Okay. Fancy dancy. A little fancy dancy. So I guess we have Zoom. I guess we have Zoom on the left and the live one's on the right. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. So
more or less.
just to make it as easy as possible, Tuesdays and Thursdays, every Tuesday and Thursday throughout the valley, I'm at a Realty One group in person, talking about open
Something.
houses, Canva 101, optimizing Instagram, so on and so forth. And then on Mondays and Wednesdays, it's Zoom. So if you want to get out of bed and want to hang out on Zoom, same topic for the week. Next week I'll be doing open houses, so Zoom for you guys next week. Following week I'll be here in person to talk about Facebook ads. Cool?
Very nice.
Today,
Excellent.
if you want to hang out,
That's right.
go
10:30.
outside. It's warm in here.
It is.
Like, for once, right? Anyway, we'll be talking about Canva 101. So if you're new to Canva or want to explore Canva platform a little bit more, I'll be kind of digging into that. So 101, not too deep, but should be a lot of fun, should be exciting. So hang out and chill with me afterwards.
Good stuff. Thank you, Timbo. Thank you. There's Rev Up for all the new agents that are in here. Christina's been to most of the classes. I'm trying to think. I think Sabrina's been to a few, whoever the mentees might be. Tomorrow is a good one if you want to brush up on doing an open house. Mark does a really good open house Rev Up class. It's tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Hop on Zoom. You can sit through that with Mark. If you need photos done, Sean Kenny is back, our Star Trek guy. Okay. He was in Star Trek for 20 years, in case you didn't know. I didn't know, but he was in Star Trek for a long time. Sean, he'll tell you about it too if you ask him. Oh, he'll tell you all about it if you ask him. But he has a nice little special for photos. If you need a headshot, it's an option. Give him a buzz, see what you want, see if it's cost effective, or go to your own person if you want. But he's just an in-house person we've used for a long time. Pretty good guy. All right, gang. We don't have a lot of builders come out here. You know, I don't know how many have we had. 3 or 4, right, over the year, maybe 5. Okay. But one of our favorite is our friends from Richmond American, and there he is, Sasha Petrovic. Everybody, come on down, Sasha.
Thanks for having me here today. Most of you are familiar with Richmond American Homes, I can imagine. We are one of the larger builders here in Las Vegas. We collaborate about 20, 25 plus communities all across the valley. I have lists in front of you with our quicker moving homes. So there's probably about 100 plus quick moving homes, 30-day closes that are ready to go, and they're ready for your buyers to take them off the market. We do have our wide range of products and wide range of pricing. So we have 1 stories, 2 stories. We have some attached product as well, and there's going to be a lot more attached product coming up next year. We have some new lines coming out. Also, price points, we have anything from 400,000 up over $1 million. So a wide range of products there for your clients as well. You're more than welcome to come out and shoot videos, take pictures of our models, put them on social media. So please feel free to tour our communities. Also, have some of my cards up front too. Whenever you have some buyers that they might want to check out one of our communities, but you're not able to make it, please send me their information. We'll make sure we register them under you so that you get paid a commission on that deal as well. Something exciting that we're doing additional 1% in commission for all the homes that go under contract by November 17th and close by December 31st. So you got about a 10-day period here to get a little extra bonus. And then hopefully we'll continue that promotion after November 17th. Like I said, we'll just have to get approval from our corporate team. Let's see what else. I know somebody mentioned special financing and interest rates. So another reason that our homes have been selling so so quickly has been special financing. So right now, with our in-house lender, we're offering 4.99% FHA and VA rates.
Oh, there it is.
And then we have a 5.5% conventional. We also have an option for a little bit of a higher rate, but we cover up to 2% of the closing costs. So that also can help some of your buyers that, you know, for a VA buyer, they can get in like 5.25% or 5.5, and basically have zero money out of pocket, maybe $500 or $600
Wow.
to close on a home. So let's see what else.
Sasha, where are you? Where are you?
So I'm
Is
looking
this
at
you?
Orchard Canyon, which is
This is
a
you,
community in
right?
North Las
Right,
Vegas.
okay.
We have two quick move-ins available there. They're all one stories, low in the mid 500s, and then we have two that are under construction. A good number of our communities is in closeout phases, so I think that's going to present some opportunities for you and your clients as well. And then we have a lot more communities coming down the line next year, and then especially in 2026. So you know the future looks bright, and a lot of exciting new communities coming up in Las Vegas.
And remind me, does Richmond have like a phone number for the concierge folks?
So
Right?
we do. Yes, we have our
Instead of running around from
HVRC
subdivision to subdivision?
We have our HVRC team, which is available pretty much every day between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m.
Okay.
And if you go to our website, you can find that phone number there, and then they
Okay.
can, put you in touch
Where'd
with
it go?
different agents in different communities. And then also, all of us agents were allowed to cross-sell in any community that we have. So if you have any specific, need some additional information that you're not able to get from them, I can help out with that as well. So,
Very nice, very nice.
any questions here from the team?
So you have the move-in ready homes, correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, and then if they wanted to, like, are you expanding out, or is there only so many that you have that in this particular community?
So that list is, that community is almost getting closed out. It
It
only
is
has
almost.
2 quick move-ins left, and
Okay.
now if you have VA buyers, they want to be close to the VA hospital, we have a couple more communities out there. We have Kestrel Heights and Fullerton Cove. Those are 2-story communities. So there's some homes out there. We have a few homes that are 1,900 square feet as low as 480.
Wow, okay.
So there's some really good deals there, but the big thing with the quick closes is the whole idea is have a home ready and go through the loan process within a 30-day period and have your buyers in the home. Now we also do have lots that could get released for sale that could be 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 months out. So those opportunities are there too. But all of the homes are fully spec'd out, so everything has been pre-selected, all the options, all the finishes. We used to be a custom home builder. We've kind of over the last year transitioned out of that. We are going to be merging with Woodside Homes and becoming one big company starting next year under the #1 builder in the world called Sakasui House. We may be doing some custom homes again in the $1 million+ range, maybe even below. We'll see how it works out. But for right now, basically your client can come in and they'll know exactly this is going to be the walk-in shower, this is going to be the backsplash, these are going to be tile selections, the flooring selections, and everything else as well.
Thank you.
So.
What did you say the name of the new builder is?
Sakasui House. So they're from Japan. They're the #1. We're going to have a different name for the American companies, but yeah, that's going to be something new that's going to be happening over the next couple.
So
of years.
Richmond American and Woodside Homes are merging, and there'll be a new name, you think?
There's going to be probably a new name. For the
Okay, so
company.
Woodside goes away, Richmond goes away, and a new name.
Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
cool.
Yeah, they'll
Wow.
happen over the next couple of years. Yeah, like I said, there's going to be a little bit of a transition there, but like I said, a lot of new communities, a lot of homes being built, and I used to be in general real estate, and I would always just take my clients to new builds. I mean, we got to a point where, in addition to special financing and all the incentives, they're getting a brand new home as well. So, I always like to kind of get familiar with the product out there, and that's why I encourage you all to come out and, come see your product, bring your clients, shoot some videos, and, market it as your own, so.
Leah?
Thank you.
What is the FICO requirement on the special financing?
So minimum 680. If they are below 680, we do have some opportunities where the rate may be a little bit higher, but ideally we like to be at 680 and above.
Good stuff. We're good, gang? Easy peasy? All right, gang. Sasha, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. Woo-hoo-hoo! All right, gang. As always, we can never do this without our friends from Rock Title. Okay? You can get to your thing?
Hey, I hope
I think Tim will get you to your thing. Yeah, Tim, get her to the thing,
I
Tim.
have it in here, so.
Yeah, just hit the escape. There you go.
So,
You're in there somewhere. Bada bing. There you go. There you go.
hi, everybody. Nice to meet you.
So I'm gonna get started and just kind of go over some basic stuff on farming. So many people ask me about farming, how that works, what we could do for you as a title company, so we'll cover that. Couple announcements first. I believe last Thursday, if you guys weren't here, you heard me say that Jennifer Croft did leave the company. She's focusing only on commercial. So we have our new flyer that has our escrow officers on here. I'm not sure if it's in the handout or not, but if not, I have some up there. And then on the other side, there is a new face that is added. His name is Vaughn Kelly. He is out of Arizona, and he is gonna be our direct supervisor. Justin Taylor, many of you guys know him. He's still staying on for trainings, but he has started his own company and he's gonna be doing more coaching. So we'll all hear more about what Justin's gonna be doing and how he can still help all of us, but he won't be managing us directly. So I have not met Vaughn Kelly in person. He's supposed to come out in the next week or two, so I'm excited because he has a long history in title sales. So hopefully he can implement some things that'll help you guys as well as me. All right, so let's see how I can do this here. Look up there and look at you guys. Okay, so farming, building relationships and driving.
You good with that?
steps. Yeah.
Okay.
Most of you guys think of farming as what? Mailing? Mailing, okay, there's so many more options other than mailing, so. Cultivating a specific demographic, neighborhood and criteria, but a lot of it is establishing a strong presence, not just by mail, becoming a local expert and staying top of mind. Identifying your farm, so with Rock Title, we can give you different criterias that we can talk about and something that might work for you, what you guys want to focus on. We can go by age, income, family size, how long they've been in the property, market activity, recent sales, turnover rates. If you guys aren't already receiving a monthly report from us, let me know. Send me an email with your email and contact information. I'll get you guys added on that list. Personal connection, so where you live or have experience, sometimes it's nice to start with your own backyard because you kind of already are an expert in your own area, if you don't know enough about another area. Building a brand, being consistent, using a consistent logo, color scheme, and messaging. Community involvement, so if you guys participate in local events, sponsor youth sport teams, host community gatherings. I always like to say this, people buy you first and then what you're selling, because people want to like you, know you, and trust you. So direct mail campaigns, so we all know we can do postcards, newsletters, market updates. That's an easy way to stay in front of people, but it can cost money. Digital marketing generally costs less money, so social media advertising. So obviously there's advertising for paid ads, but then you can also just post in your own network. Nextdoor, if you guys aren't on Nextdoor, you can pay advertise for Nextdoor, but in addition, you can just be that neighbor that knows information. So one of the real estate agents I was working with, she does a lot of outreach and she cooks for a homeless community. And we started talking and brainstorming about what she can do to kind of stand out. So she now calls herself the cooking realtor, because what she does is she was looking for ways to make herself stand out from everybody else. And on Nextdoor, you can't really say, hey, I'm a real estate agent for free, they'll kick you off. But if we talk about different ways of staying in front of somebody. So how about doing a shoe drive for your charity? And say, hey, I'm gonna be in the neighborhood on Saturday, if you guys even wanna just leave your shoes outside, or a coat drive this time of year. I'll come by and pick it up for you. Whether they're there and they answer the door or not, less relevant. Obviously, if they do answer the door, it's a warm connection into your neighbor. Thank you so much. But you can always send them a thank you card a couple weeks later with your business card. And then it's more of a connection than just a complete random stranger. Obviously, open houses, organize open houses in the area to attract potential buyers. Engaging in the community, so networking, join local organizations, and attend community events, Facebook groups, meetups, Nextdoor events. I was part of a networking group for probably 8 years. You guys have probably heard like BNI, LaTip, Pro Business Connections. Those are great to build relationships with people and kind of share your network. So if you really network with a CPA and they learn to trust you because you see them every week. So I really, if you guys aren't part of a networking group, it's a little harder for a real estate agent because that spot's usually taken. In the past, I've started my own groups. If you guys want help and direction on how to do that, reach out to me. I'd be happy to sit down with you guys about that. But it's about making yourself stand out and being an expert. Education, so offer workshops on home buying, selling, market trends, and specific niches. Tracking and analyzing results. So a lot of people will do mailings, but we don't know necessarily if they're paying attention to the mailings, if they opened it or not. So Core Fact, are you guys using Core Fact, anybody in here? So Core Fact is great because it does have a QR code that the person can scan. And once they scan it, you get notified that they scanned it. A lot of it is like, what's my home worth? But Core Fact is actually a tile on Realty One, and if you go through Realty One and click on Core Fact there, it's already branded to Realty One, so you're not having to start over from scratch. So the branding's already there, your information you can put on there easily, and they have endless amount of postcards, mailers that you guys can use. And if you order a list through Core Fact, they do charge you. But you can also go through me, and we do not charge you guys. We do pay for it, so we always ask when you're gonna do a farm, let's have a conversation first to make sure you guys are gonna actually use it and what you're gonna do with it, because sometimes we'll pull a farm and you guys will say, I just want addresses only because I'm gonna door knock or I'm gonna send mailers to. Those are easy to get because you're gonna do that in your neighborhood of maybe where that open house is or where you have a listing. But if you're gonna do a different type of campaign where you want to send emails and phone calls and you have no intention of door knocking, then you want to reach out to me and say, Heather, I only want homes that have emails, or I only want homes that have phone numbers. And then we're not giving you the ones that don't have an email or phone number. And as you guys can imagine, there's a lot more homes out there that don't have emails and phone numbers. So it's always a conversation of what do you guys plan to do with that farm that we're going to order for you guys. Obviously, engagement on social media. You guys can check how many people like your posts, all that. And then also you guys engage with other people. So you can join on LinkedIn and you guys, all your socials. Make sure you're not just liking, but you're commenting on people's posts too, because you're also getting their friends see that who you are as well. So make sure you're just engaging everywhere you can. Okay, we got, so I just kind of covered this: calls, emails, texts, door knocking, postcards. How often are you guys gonna be sending out a mailer or an email? Monthly, quarterly? Are you guys familiar with Ninja Selling, the book? Damon is. I just did a presentation on that a couple days ago. I'd love to do that.
He said he's a master right here.
Oh, okay, I love that. So I've read that book twice. I did a presentation on it a couple days ago, so maybe I'll have a class on that. And it basically sums up the book, but it's about how to really, it's relationship building. And it's not just random postcards that you're selling, because they say if you're not offering anything of value, then it's just junk mail. So I can go into a whole other 30 minutes on ninja selling. But it's about making 8 touches and something that adds value. Also, based on your budget, how many names are you comfortable with? So I got a request the other day, and it was like 8 states that they wanted names on. It's probably unrealistic to stay in contact with thousands and thousands and thousands of names to start. Plus, we're not going to give you that many as well if you pay for them. But if you know you're going to do a mailing campaign, what's your budget? It's about $1 a postcard, give or take. So if you know you only have $200, then we really want to pinpoint that farm down to 200 names. So you guys can stay on top of those if you want to hit them monthly or you want to hit them quarterly. Because if you just do it one time, the chances of you guys getting business from that is very, 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 very slim. So I think the average person knows about 12 real estate agents. So it's important for them to know you, like you, and trust you, but you also have to stay in the flow with them. So you have to be top of mind, so when they are thinking about moving, you're there. This is one way. We did a class, Justin Taylor did a class on this maybe a month ago or so, on the CMA challenge. Were any of you guys here for that? Okay, so this, I put this on our Facebook page. It's just through Canva. So it's just, again, something of value that you can add. We have it available where you guys can make this on a text, or you can make it on an email. And hey, Zillow has your home listed at this, Redfin, RPR has it at this. What do you think your house is worth? and you can ask them, and it's just a conversation starter. But if you want to know what I think your house is worth, let me get back to you in a couple more days, and I can provide that to you. This next slide is on Rock Agent. So Rock Agent, I'm going to do a class on this next Wednesday for the Wednesday workshop. So Rock Agent has so many calculators. My favorite calculator is the home equity calculator, and you can just put in different information on the property, and it tells you how much equity you have in the home. But again, it's a conversation starter to have with somebody, and that's also something you can email and text. Doesn't cost you guys anything other than some time. Some of the tools where we get our names from is Title Pro. If you guys are not set up on Title Pro 247, reach out to me and I can get you guys set up on your own account. I'd still like to have a conversation with you guys before you order a farm as far as, again, what we talked about, a specific criteria that works for you and what you guys are gonna actually follow through with. But you can have your own account and play around with there so you can see the criteria on there and how many names pull up for different criteria that you're looking for. We already talked about marketing platforms like Corfact. Wise Pelican is another one. List reports, again, another free account that we give to you. If you guys don't have a list reports account, reach out to me and I'll get you one. Reminder Media is another one that you guys can look into. They also do great stuff with a lot of free accounts. Community resources, so partner with local businesses to share in part of the cost. So I've done this before in the past where you can, for one, you can just get your advertisers that already come to your home and ask them if they want to partner with you because they're already spending money, on a Valpak. They're spending a lot more money than it would cost you. Or if you know somebody that is a CPA or a home inspector, somebody that wants to partner with you and split it 3 ways, then the cost, you can cover a lot more people because the cost is now in thirds if you are splitting it with 2 other businesses, a pizza shop. Think of different businesses that you already know that you guys can start doing that. That's all I got. So again, if you guys don't have any of these resources, reach out to me and I'd be happy to get you guys set up.
Hey, real quick, has anybody got a great BMW SUV parked out front? If you do, your hatch is up. The maintenance guy just came in and said that.
Does it rain?
Way to go, Chris, way to go.
Right, literally.
I
Yeah.
have
Check
something
that.
to say about the farm.
Yes.
So back in the day
Thank
when I
you.
used to farm, I would go to my title marketing rep and I would say, okay, here's an address for the subdivision. Give me all of the 1-stories that have at least 200,000 in equity, that have a pool, and that they've lived there at least 5 years. And instead of 250 homes, I might get 80, because those are the 80 that are most likely to move, rather than me spending all of this money on ones that might have moved in last week and they have no intention on moving for another 5 years. So then I'll take those 80 and then my marketing dollars I can spread into the next subdivision, and then you might hit the whole street, right, of 5 different subdivisions with the same amount you would have just spent for that one subdivision. So that's why Heather says meet with her first before you order the farm, because you can really fine tune it. You can do it towards, I just want to market towards teachers or nurses, and they can pull all the just Hispanic speaking individuals that live in that neighborhood. They can really fine tune it and save you a lot of money with your marketing dollars. So when she says reach out to her first before you order it, that's the best way to do it. So just my 2 cents.
Thank you. And then Leah was gonna mention something really quick. She's whispering it to me, but it's about Corfact
If
has
you Google Corfact,
discounts.
they run a coupon code every month. So don't pay full price.
Well,
I'm
it-
gonna order one for just sold today and, or get it ready to go out. Anyway, you put in a coupon to get 10 to 20%. Sometimes the 20s don't work, but I've gotten 15 off.
Do we get that automatically through Corfact being in our single sign-on? Do we know?
I'm not sure
don't
what the,
think so.
I
No?
don't think there's a discount.
I
Okay.
use that.
I can't tell if there's a discount. No.
Okay.
That's the one I
But it's
use.
already branded, which.
Right, that's
saves a
half
lot
the
of
battle,
money.
right, yeah, okay.
But yeah, don't pay full price. There's always companies that have codes.
And when I was at Remax, probably 6 years, for every month I spent between $200 and $400 a month on Corfact postcards. And they worked. I had my 2 or 3 subdivisions with 200 homes here and 300 there. I spent a couple $100 a month, $200, $400, $500 a month over time. You increase it as you close transactions, but it works. And these are really good postcards. These are not
How often did you send yours out?
every month. Every month. And when I started, I think I did it twice a month the first 3 months, like every 2 weeks to hit them. And then after I beat them up for 12 weeks, then it was every month. And I got listing appointments at it. I'd go on the listing appointment, my postcard would be on the fridge because they got it. They've been getting it every month for 3 years. Let's call this guy sooner or later, right? He's keeping in touch with us. So that stuff works, but it's not immediate return. You're going to spend 6 months at $300 a month and say, son of a bitch, this shit don't work. Tim doesn't know what he's talking about, you know? Ninja selling, what do they know? None of that stuff works. It does, but it takes time. It's like anything else. If you give up too quick, then you've wasted your money. So you have to save enough money to be into it for 3, 6, 9 months, and then it should kick in.
It doesn't have to be your listing. Like you can, if something sells in the neighborhood, you can send out a postcard, just sold, just let them know that it's sold. So don't feel like, well, I have nothing going on, I can't send it. But I did, probably 5 years ago, I had a listing. When it closed, I sent out a just sold postcard, and I got 2 listings off of it. So, more than enough pays for it. Because a lot of people are like, oh, postcards. My husband, right in the trash, doesn't even look at it. But I buy the jumbo ones, and I think, you know what, if you keep it, you know, and then you can start going just listed, just whatever it is, but they really do work, and Corfact is my favorite once you get the postcards.
And Damon does a great farming class. I don't know how often he does it, 2-3 times a year, right? But
We do it every 6 weeks.
Every 6 weeks or so? Yeah.
Yeah, I killed it in the farm.
Yeah, but it's a commitment. It's not
But
like,
it's not just mowing, folks.
Right.
You know, don't just start mowing. I mean, you're gonna go broke.
Mhm.
You gotta do much more. That was in my farm about 5 times a month.
Our stamps are 66.
Right, door dropping, door knocking, open houses.
Mhm.
I had a Century 21 agent call me to list his home. That was how prominent I was in my farm.
yeah, so it's, again, we wish we could say spend $300 a month, sit back and wait for the phone to ring. No, you know, you're gonna, it's strategic. You do open houses in that subdivision. You door knock. You do Heather's collect coats in the winter for the charity in that neighborhood. So they see you a lot of different ways. Okay, I even spent money on the stupid Albertson Smith's carts. Remember you went to Albertsons and you're walking around and you see Mary from Mary's Really. I did that for like 3 years, and I guess it worked because I made money. And it was in the Smiths near the farm that I was sending postcards to. So it was all kind of strategic, but it's not cheap, and you're in it for the long haul. Okay, but you have to do other stuff too, like Damon said. Okay.
And the other thing I'd say with Wendy though, if you got to get permission from the agent if you're going to send out a just list or just sold on somebody's property.
Else's listing.
Another agent's property,
Yes,
you have to get
always
permission. Now, if you go door knocking with the just list, just sold, you don't have to get permission. You're just going, hey, we just listed or just sold. But if you're mailing and targeting one property that just listed or just sold or something, get permission from that agent.
Yeah.
Same thing with social media.
Maria is not at the front door, so we're going to skip Maria, but we're going to come back to Maria. I want to show you guys this real quick. I sent you guys an email that hopefully you guys didn't panic from it about your code of ethics, NAR. You have to have it, okay? It's not the end of the world here. It's not like, okay, but it's a class you have to take every 3 years, and it varies for all of us. So I think if you go to your Las Vegas LVR homepage, it tells you if you need it. So if you need it, then reach out to NAR. I needed it. I didn't know I needed it. Thank God our president, Pat Kelly, sent us all the managers an email to remind us. And 3 of us needed it. So I hopped on NAR, sat through a 90-minute webinar, and passed it, okay? And this was one of the questions. I want to ask you guys a question. So this is Article 16 from the Code of Ethics. While Article 16 prohibits realtors from soliciting listings where the seller's property is already listed, in some cases it may be difficult or impossible to tell with certainty whether the property is exclusively listed. So it's listed by Ricky at RE/MAX, but this says maybe it isn't. Let me continue. The easiest way to avoid potential violations of Article 16 is simply to call the listing broker and ask her whether the client is exclusive and when the agreement ends. What do you think about that?
Now, the MLS will tell you if it's exclusive or not.
Correct.
So,
It'll say ER.
and we only take exclusive agreements. Okay?
So, but let's say it's a house you always wanted to list and you're curious when the listing expires. How do you find that out? Or can you find that
Call
out?
the listing agent and ask them. If they don't tell you, you can call the owner and they can tell you.
Correct. You can call the listing agent, and the listing agent is probably not going to tell you. Right? He should. There's nothing bad about that, but you could call up Ricky at RE/MAX. Hey, Ricky, congratulations on that listing, blah, 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 blah. When does it expire? And he should volunteer that. He shouldn't hide it. But I think a lot of his instinctively listing agents are like that. But why are you asking, Sylvia?
MLS hides it.
What are you asking? Huh?
MLS hides it.
Of course, because there's a contract between us and the seller. But the listing agent should give you that information. But like Damon said, if they don't, you can call up the buyer, the seller directly. Hey, Mr. Seller, you don't know me, it's Tim at Realty One Group. Congratulations with your listing with Ricky at RE/MAX. Just wondering when it expires. Oh, January 31st. Okay, great. I might be in touch after that, but wishing you nothing but the best. I hope you sell it before then. Click. There's nothing wrong with you doing that. I'm not saying you should, but you could. And I really didn't know that it was that clear until I took this Code of Ethics class on Tuesday. And this was one of the questions, okay? And of course, Damon knew the answer, this son of a bitch. You know, he knew the answer already. You know, Mr. NRS over here, you know?
You guys can actually go meet with the seller if they reach out to you during their listing and go do a presentation, everything else. You could actually have a contract signed dated the day after their listing expires.
You can.
As long as they reach out to you.
Correct.
Yes,
You don't
yes.
solicit them,
Right.
They reach out to you.
Right. Or you call the listing agent and they blew you off. Okay? And they didn't answer your question, and you have notes of that. You sent Joey an email. Ricky, hey, Ricky at RE/MAX, I know you just hung up on me when I asked you about when it expires. Just curious, when does it expire? And he emails you back, F you, and you know, or whatever he said, whatever. Now you have proof. You tried, right? So now you can call the seller and not get in trouble. So just a way of covering your butt there a little bit, right? You know? Okay, so I just found that interesting. All right, where is she? Miss Compliance Guru herself. Where's Maria? There she is. Come on, Maria. Come on down. All right, gang. This is the new form that's really not a new form yet. Okay? That's why we put sample on it. We don't want you to leave here and use it. Okay? This is a new form that was created to use if your commission on the BBRA goes up or down. Up or down. So I'm not going to go through this line with you because it might change. I think it will change if I have my way. It's going to change a little bit, okay? But it might not, okay? But I just wanted to have you guys see it, touch it, feel it. Probably by Monday it'll be in transaction Sky Slope. By Monday probably. We're ironing out the details today and tomorrow, I think, okay? But that's what this form is all about, okay? So. Have you read it yet? You know, how about you read it here and find out, and then you tell us. That's it. It's just an addendum or an amendment to the BBRA.
You have to do the BBRA, the three-page BBRA, and you only use this amendment if it changes. So if you have a BBRA and it's at 3%, and then all of a sudden it goes down to 2.5, or maybe you can, wine and dine the seller and he can give you 3.5, that's when you use this form. But you don't use it only. You have to use both forms. Got it? Yes.
I know we love new forms, right? We love new forms. We love new
Well,
forms.
this one's needed, folks, because
Yeah.
you're scratching out the BBRA and Michelin and the train wrecks that are being created right now, because they should have had this form launched with the BBRA from day one, and we've had a big voice in that with Pat Kelly, our president, as well, so.
See now, not to blame anyone, now in Arizona, they created this form when they created the new BBRA. Our association chose not to and let the brokers create their own. I don't know what the thinking was behind that, but yeah, pretty much, there was no thinking, so.
We're talking about the counteroffer, or we're talking about the termination? This is just termination.
It's an addendum to the buyer-broker representation agreement, and there's a few things you can change on there. So read the form, get comfortable with it. I'll let you know if we're using this live or we're going to update it, okay? All right, Maria, what else we got? You good? Nothing else? You sure? Yeah? Okay, all right. Hey, say it again? Yeah, no. Yeah, Wendy's going to talk about the counteroffer, okay? But just hang on to that addendum, the one that's all highlighted. You'll get a revised one soon. We'll email it, put it on Facebook, probably send it to everybody, make a bunch of copies, leave them up front, okay? And before I forget, because I know Sasha has places to go and people to see. It's so funny. We have 14 people on here, but I counted there's 31 of us in the room. I don't understand. Now, I'm not counting me and Wendy or Suzanne, or Damon probably didn't put his name on there. But you guys, if you come on time, you have a really good chance of winning something. But obviously you didn't come on time. Yeah, sure you do. Yeah.
It must be signed by 9:30 because then we pull it.
And we pull it, right. So, Sasha, pick a number from 1 to 14. 1 to 14.
11.
11.
11 and, Velvet.
Who's number 11?
Where's Velvet? Look at this.
All right, well.
Winner. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, Sasha, we'll pick one more from 1 to 14. 7. Mickey Mantle's number for your baseball. Irina. Which Irina? Oh, of course. I knew she was going to win. I knew it. All right, it's your lucky week. We threw some folders in here for you. Very valuable folders, guys, and a bunch of other stuff. There you go. All right, geez, she wins all the time. Killing me here, you know. All right, Wend, what do you think?
You want to say bye to Sasha?
Sasha, you out of here or are you staying? Yeah, okay, good. Okay, yeah, Sasha's going to stay. Okay. All right, Wend, everybody. Wendy Schaller, everybody. There she is. Woo-hoo.
So I want to go over a couple of our documents, but before then, we've got a lot of new agents coming in, so I wanted to touch base on just a couple things. Office hours, from Tim and myself, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, right? And then 5 to 7, text and email. And then after 7 is strictly just email, right? Monday through Friday. On Saturdays and Sundays, 9 to 4. You might not get me on Saturday if I'm at the grocery store, but just leave me a message. Do not call and hang up, because when you do not leave a message, I do not spend all day long. Do you still need me? Do you still need me? I don't. If you don't leave a message, I do not call you back. So just keep that in mind. We will bend over backwards to help you guys in any way, shape, or form, but please just be courteous of all of that. If you need personal one-on-one time about something that you're going to just text me, call me, just say, hey, can I get 30 minutes? I will block it off and you can come into office. Because I know a lot of agents are like, well, I'm here. Can I just come in for the next hour? Well, we schedule out our days. We want to help you. So just to make sure we're giving you all the time and attention that you need, just give us a heads up and then we can block that time for you. Facebook. I got like 9 friend requests on Facebook just in the last 5 days. I love you guys, but I do not accept friend requests on Facebook. So just so you know, because I keep that one personal for myself. So do not take it personal, because I had an agent come in, why are you not accepting it? I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I just don't accept them, so don't take it personal.
You can still tag you though, like in Facebook, like in our group, you can tag her and she'll see it and be involved.
Yeah, and I'll get involved. It's just like I keep my Facebook for myself. But anyways, if you're an agent going out of town, no need to tell me that you're going out of town, when you're coming, when you're going, or whatnot. That's only if you have something under transit, like in a transaction, you know that you're going to have a client that needs tending to while you're gone. We're more than happy to help you. You guys are all independent contractors. You can come and go as you please. I don't need to know about your plans and how long you're going. I appreciate it. It sounds like fun. But I just don't want you to feel obligated to tell me every time you guys leave that, mistakes, whatever, because that's completely up to you. But if you need assistance while you're gone, I'm here to take over for when you aren't here if you need it, right? One last thing. License renewals. Guys, stay on top of that, because if you're licensed, if you are not renewing your license, remember you have to do your post-licensing classes in that first year. And then after that, every 2 years, you need to do your CE classes. And if you forget about it and you don't renew, you're inactive. So you can't work. So if you're in the middle of a transaction and oops, I forgot, they're going to make you do all your CE before you can renew that license, and therefore you cannot be working. So just make sure you watch those dates. Super important.
Let me ask you guys a question. So the agent is in the middle of a deal now, and his CE expired October 31st. His license expired. Didn't do his CE, or she didn't do CE. So their license is no good. What about their transaction? Do we let you work it? Do we pay you if it closes? Does it go? The money go? Me and Wendy keep the commission? What do we? Yeah. No, think about it. What do we do?
Can we refer to another agent that is active at the moment?
Okay, so you refer to Doug. It's closing in next week. What's Doug going to do?
Take the commission.
Oh, you take the,
You just can't legally work.
You put us in a really tough spot, guys. You really do. The thing closes, your license is no good, we can't pay you. If we did, we could lose our license. So believe what Wendy's saying. And Suzanne sends out emails all the time. When everything expires, your business license, your whatever license, she sends out reminders all the time, but you guys might not necessarily open up the emails. So you need to be on top of that stuff. We shouldn't have to remind you when your license expires.
Okay, question.
Okay?
What is business license? Every time I'm confused about it.
Oh my. Everybody needs a city and a state business license. We all know that. Okay, you know that when you go to real estate school. One is about $200 and one is about $95. You have to have it active every year. If you don't, we get an audit list from the state, And if you don't have it by a certain date, I think it's like a $1,000 fine. It's really steep. It's crazy, okay? But you have to have it because you're an independent contractor.
Each of us should have it.
No, just this half part of the room. No, you guys don't need it. No, just this part. Of course. All 17,000 realtors have to have a state and a city license, or county or Henderson, depending upon where your office is. Every year. Welcome to Nevada. Every year. Welcome to Nevada. Yeah. Again, we have no state income tax, so that's the answer to that. They have all these other fees. So please stay on top of that, because we don't want to get a deal, $25,000 check, and we can't give it to you. And then we got to figure out, do we give it to you? Or if we don't, what happens if we don't give it to you? Of course, we would pay you. We're not going to not give it to you, but just stay on top of that stuff, gang. Please, we shouldn't have to remind you, but please stay on top of that.
And also, just so you know, like we said, we send out, Suzanne mainly sends out a lot of reminders, but we also have this really cool system that we send out mass emails, and we can see when you open them. So keep in mind, when you say, I never got it, or I already read it, no, we know that you did it, so just make sure. You're opening the emails every Friday at 5 o'clock. Tim sends out a newsletter email. Just open it. It recaps last week. It tells you what's going on the following week. So super important, guys. Just stay on top of that. But I just want to touch upon these two forms. The counteroffer. I know it sounds like it, hey, it's a document we use all the time, but it does get confusing when you have multiple ones. So my suggestion is, if you receive a counteroffer, that you send a counter, they send a counter. After 2, call the agent. Best to just have open communication, because you don't want 4, 5, 6 counteroffers when you can just have a conversation and write out. We should get used to having a conversation. Now, with that said, some agents on the other side don't care. They're not going to answer the phone, and they just want to keep writing counters, and you just have to deal with it. But on the counteroffer, you're going to say counter number 1. You're going to put the agent's name of who you're sending it to, attention, that agent, and that company. The offer that you submitted by this buyer to buy the property, and then the address, and then the date. The date is the date on the offer, on the top of the offer, not the date that they've accepted. Okay, so super important. Then you put in the terms of what you're countering, and then where it says expiration, you write your expiration. And then you sign and date it. So if they say they send it to you, and you don't like those terms and you want to write another one, you have the option to accept, reject, or right in the middle, it's I accept the terms of the offer and that counter except for, and you would write a new one. Now with that being said, what gets confusing are those numbers at the bottom, right? So they sent you 1, you're going to accept the counter, so you would put number 2. So then you would write number 2 on the next one. And then if they want to counter, they would write on number 2, they would write 3. So they have to be consecutive, because we had an agent on the other end that says, no, I'm going to put these certain number, and it's like they have to be consecutive. I didn't accept that first counter, so I'm not acknowledging or signing for it. No, you have to. You have to accept, reject, or counter. So does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
And then just make sure they're consecutive. I'm with that. Okay.
And hopefully, if you're on the buying side and you write the offer, you get counter number 1. Hopefully, if you're going to counter number 2, that should do it. There shouldn't be 14 counter offers. We've seen 8 counter offers. And poor Maria, it's like, holy shit, put this puzzle together. Like, trying number 1, number 2, and there should be 2 counter offers maximum. If you get caught up on that, come to us. Okay, and we'll help you with the writing of it. But you don't want 3 and 4 and 5
well, just as
counters.
confusing as it gets to us, think about the clients. They don't do this every day, so they're trying to follow along. Like, what am I even signing at this point? So just try to have that conversation from agent to agent, and then put it all like, hey, let me just recap before we go any further. What should we put? What does your client want? What does my client want? And then try to handle it over the phone, and then just write it by the second or third one after that. You're going too far. But okay. No more questions on that one right now? And if you have questions, guys, whenever you're filling out, just call. I will help you through it, because it does get confusing. And even on the phone, I'm like, wait, which one was what? Because we have to stay on top of it, so we want to make sure you guys are doing it right. So there's no such thing as a dumb question. We all get confused at certain times, and we don't expect you to know everything. So that's what we're here for. Call us anytime. But I also want to touch again real quick on the buyer-broker, the BBRA, Buyer-Broker Representative Agreement. So filling it out, as you guys can see up here, I didn't print another one out because we have we've gone through this multiple times, but it does get confusing as well. So I just kind of did like a sample one. I put exclusive, because me personally, I don't work a non-exclusive agreement. If you're working with me, you're working with me. So that's what we prefer you guys to do. It's just they have an agreement with you. I actually click all of the boxes, depending, like if I know they're only buying residential, I click everything except for commercial, I'll leave that out. But, I mean, unless you're licensed to do or approved to do commercial, I wouldn't try to sell anybody commercial, right? And then for applicable cities, I like to put all counties and cities in Nevada so it's clear. I got the whole state. Now, with that being said, stay in your lane, guys. Don't try to sell Reno. Like you don't intend on going up there or driving up there every time they want to see a home, or like, just don't. You can refer that out. But with that being said, I've covered myself. And same with like description. It says description, geographical code, zip code. I strongly discourage you from putting a zip code, because if they want Summerlin but they only want this zip code, guess what? They might cross the street and change the zip code, and now they want that house, but they only have a BBRA for that one zip code. So don't do that. Just put it very open. I guess I didn't put it in. No, I did put it in there, but it didn't come out there. But I put all counties and cities and zip codes and everything in there as well. Whatever you want, just put all. It's probably the best way to do it. Now,
Or put the two counties that we operate in. So I would say don't even put all in Nevada, but put Clark County and Nye County. That covers everything we're gonna sell, folks, is Pahrump and Boulder City. If you wanna put cities, label all 5 of the cities, Henderson, Las Vegas.
What county is Mesquite?
We don't sell them.
I know, but what is county? I'm just curious. I don't know. Anyone know Mesquite County? It is Clark, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
can sell them all in Nevada.
Yeah.
The difference is
Right.
that they're on the MLS.
MLS. Yeah.
but there are a ton of new homes out in Mesquite that
Yeah.
we can sell in. So that's why I say just kind of make sure you're covered. Because I had somebody looking in Pahrump. Well, they first started, I got the referral, they were in Mesquite. And I'm like, okay. And then I ended up selling them in Pahrump. You just don't know, because they were retired and they didn't care, and they were just like, well, show me everything. We get those sometimes. So I just wanted to make sure that you are covered, but.
Don't limit yourself on that.
Yeah.
There's a Realty One Group office in Mesquite, by the
Yeah.
way, and I referred my buyer to an agent up there. So,
Yeah. Good people.
So, so that's just to cover like the length. Now, if you get some people that challenge you and they're like, I don't want to sign this agreement. Well, they have to sign the agreement for you to show them the home. I've made them before property specific, and that's where this comes in, because it says or, and then you would mark that and you would put every address of every property you're showing them that day. And then I still put a length down here, but just with that being said, they don't want to sign a long-term agreement, that's okay. But I'm gonna put down every address that I've showed them, because I'm gonna make sure I get paid for what I just did, right? So if you follow along past that, the length of the agreement, you're gonna put in there whatever it is that you want. I personally, everybody's gonna do something different. You can do 1 day, you can do a month. If they're local, I do a 6 month, and if they're out of state, I like to do a year, because they'll tell you, oh, I'm gonna come in every month until I find a house, and the next thing you know, it's been 3 months and they haven't been able to come in, and 3 out of your 6 months are blown. So if you're local, I like to do 6 months, but again, you can do whatever, and they might challenge you on that. They're like, hey, I'm gonna try this out for a month, but I only wanna sign for a month. You're gonna do whatever works with you and your client. This is just an example of that. And then buyer compensation. So you're gonna put whatever compensation you've agreed to. On this example, I put 2.5%. But now we've got that addendum form that we are gonna be able to change that. So just put what you want. So I always say mark the top one and mark the third one, because that third one is your compensation, transaction fee, and
Broker compensation.
clients and
Right.
transaction fee. So if you want to pick that up for your clients, you can choose not to mark that one. But I mark it because I can always take it away. But then if you don't mark it, you can't really add it. So, because this might say, yeah, they agree to 2.5%, and then all of a sudden they've reduced the commission to 2%, and now you're paying 2% and the transaction fee. So I just put it on there and said we can renegotiate. It just depends on what happens throughout the transaction, right? And then you're going to list what that's for on this third line, whatever fee that you put in that third one. And then I put mine to expire within 180 days after, or they can't purchase a property within 180 days after I showed them. They can cancel this contract at any time. So I can show them at 11 o'clock 5 homes, and then at 5 o'clock they say, oh, I want to cancel. They put it in writing, they're done. Okay, but I've covered myself, because now everything I showed them, they cannot purchase for 180 days without paying me a compensation, because I did the work. So make sure you put that in there, whatever date, however many days that you want, you know, just saying. This is just the example that I use. Second page, not much to go over, but it does ask you to, how many of these transactions have they signed up, are they in? We prefer to have that in 0, because why would you want them to have multiple buyer broker agreements out with everybody?
It's only for non-exclusive though.
Non-exclusive, yes. So
Right.
you wanna make sure that they are exclusive with you, like I said, on that first page, exclusive. Try to get them exclusive. I choose, if they're not gonna be exclusive with me, then maybe I'm not the right realtor for you. But hey, you guys do your job, your business the way you wanna do it. But you wanna put 0 in there that they don't have non-exclusive ones out as well. And then on the last page, I don't know if we put it up there, additional terms, we're still saying do not put anything in additional terms right now, because we do have that form coming out. People were writing some crazy stuff and we were having to deny them, but then you're gonna have them sign date and time, and then you're gonna fill out all your broker information at the end. Does anybody have any questions?
The only thing I recommend is on that compensation section in 3, that third line, I put broker's additional compensation in as the verbiage.
Brokers
For that-
additional.
For that transaction fee, whatever, Realty One groups.
Yeah, I put-
Broker's- The BAC fee, broker's additional compensation.
Yeah, because I don't know if you can go back.
Yeah, right there.
Because it's down here. It just felt, I don't know why it came out that way, because everything
Yeah,
went
it's-
down.
I
But
don't
it
like
says
it.
dock,
Yeah.
storage, and transaction fee is what I put in there.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, same
I
thing,
didn't
no?
know- Yeah, the same,
Yeah.
it's the same.
Right.
I've seen a lot of
See-
people just use the broker additional compensation.
Yeah, it's just
Because,
went down.
as you know, your buyer's also gonna sign the notice of the broker compensation fee, that's a Realty One Group form. So that's gonna reinforce what's on there. So you're gonna hit them with it twice, that they have to pay that fee, assuming that's what you guys are doing with your buyer.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you leave it off there, it's not the end of the world, but you're gonna bring it back again on the Realty One Group form, okay?
What's usually broker additional compensation amount?
Well, it depends.
Wait, how much, so you have a $600,000 closing, what's the transaction fee? At Realty One Group? You don't know?
Oh, 600.
Is it 600?
800.
800.
Plus 200.
So it's 1,000, right. So it's 200 every 200,000. That's what you would put on that line,
So I would
that
put full
number.
800, because your clients could possibly pay it.
I see.
And then, again, you can go down right now without anybody, coming at you. But we're gonna get that other form, so then you can add to it if you need to, but right now. Any other questions? No? I just wanna touch upon it because we wanted to review and make sure everybody was on the same page.
When would you guys use a non-exclusive agreement?
Would you use one?
We don't wanna use them.
If you're working with an investor that's working with buyers and saying, hey, listen, if you show me the home, I'll work with you, but I have other agents looking for homes for me as well, that might be when you might sign a non-exclusive. If you guys wanna say, hey, okay, I'll go to bat for you. How many non-exclusives have you signed? Well, we have 3 of them signed. That's when you do the non-exclusive. In that circumstance, would probably be when you would do it.
Yeah, so if you're negotiating with the buyer and it is non-exclusive, don't automatically in your brain say, the hell with this person, I'm not working with them. No, I mean, I'm not saying you should walk away if you want to. We all want it to be exclusive, but like Damon said, if it's an investor, or maybe it's just someone that you met, that you know met another realtor already, and you're gonna do the best job you can today to try to get them under contract, check off non-exclusive, okay? So
There's
don't.
always exceptions. Everybody's gonna run their business differently.
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
Yep, any other questions? No?
Easy peasy, BBRA? Okay, Danny, what do you
I have
got?
a question. Now, in case that we have the addendum, can we negotiate, for example, put 1% in the BBRA, but then negotiate different with the purchase agreement, for example, higher, and then use this? Or you still want us to, the same we put in BBRA, the same we put in the purchase agreement?
I would
Whatever
say
we
put
agree.
the same as what you're doing now.
Yeah, we want them.
That's just in case like a builder gives you an extra 1%, or they're like, okay, the seller said, I asked for 3, the seller said 2, they don't have the money, then I'll go down. But you really wanna put what you're asking for in that BBRA.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the only way I would say,
Don't get too silly with that.
Yeah.
Because they still wanna know that the buyer allowed you to collect that extra money, right? If you guys
Right.
got extra money, it's not
Yeah.
gonna be so free to where you're pulling the wool over the buyer's eyes and making all kinds of money. That's another lawsuit waiting to happen.
No,
So-
they're still gonna sign the purchase, the offer,
but if you have one,
If we don't get the, for example, the 3%, then I'm gonna ask 2 from the buyer, for example.
And
This
that's
could
where
be
the addendum
explained.
comes in. That's when you lower it. But if you put 1% in your BBRA and then you write the offer and put 3% in the offer, Like, it doesn't.
Not gonna work.
match.
No.
Yeah, that doesn't.
That's a red
Whatever
flag.
you're gonna ask for, you're gonna put here, and then that addendum is just in case you can't get that fee and you have to reduce it, or something happens, they're like, hey, I'll give an extra percentage. Like, you might say, BBRA is 3%, and then this seller is so desperate, they're like, I'm giving 4%. And now it doesn't match, so now the buyer's allowing you to take that extra 1%. But if you only ask for 1% and they're giving you 2 extra ones, the buyers are like, why are you getting 2%? You're just shooting yourself in the foot by that. So you want it to be what you're actually gonna ask
Okay,
for.
I only ask this because for me, just for me, from the beginning, this BBRA, it's kind of like crazy asking the buyer, if the seller doesn't pay me 3%, you have to pay me. But if you don't have to pay me, you can cancel the BBRA. That's why I asked that question.
Yeah.
I understand exactly, but because of the entire, you know,
Right, but I think the rule of thumb is whatever's on your BBRA should be on page 2 of the RPA. They need to match to keep us out of trouble, okay? Yeah, keep it simple. One last thing, gang, before we go. This was another thing with the Code of Ethics. Prospective buyer Tory visits several open houses with his realtor, Katie. The next day, buyer Tony visits an open house alone, listed by another realtor, Ryan. She likes the house so much, she asks Ryan to write up the offer right there at the open house. So Wendy's my agent. We go look at homes. Then tomorrow I go to an open house without Wendy, and Chris is there, and I tell her to write up an offer for me, to represent me. What do you think? Think on that one for a little bit.
What's the first question you have to ask?
If you're who? If you're who? Who should ask the question?
If you're Ryan, right, you have to ask, hey, do you have a BBRA signed with Wendy?
Correct.
And when they say, yes, we do, then they're in a representation agreement already.
Point is, if you're in that open house and Ryan walks in, there's Ryan, right? There's Ryan over there, you know? And Ryan says, yeah, Tim, I want you to represent me. And you might be all, oh shit, this is fucking great. Let me get out my laptop. No, you want to professionally have a conversation with Ryan. So, hey, Ryan, that's great, fantastic. Have you worked with any of the realtors before? You know, have you seen other properties before? Have you signed any agreements with other agents? Exactly like Damon said. If you don't do that, that's when, you know, you're going to get a little bit of a hot water. When I get the phone call from the KW broker, you know, that we're doing something that we could have avoided if we asked the right question. So these little scenarios that pop up that sometimes we get excited about something, we go right past the obvious and write up the offer.
That'll be an ethics violation.
Pretty much. That's it. That's why this is one of the questions in the Code of Ethics
Unless it's
that I
a
had to take.
non-exclusive agreement.
Good old non-exclusive there, you know?
They have a non-exclusive agreement.
All right, Arena, what do you got,
Move
baby?
forward.
What do you got?
Question, if for example, you signed BBRA, everything, and during the transaction, you see that buyer need additional money from you,
From who's you?
from my commission. For example, if I want to pay some part of commission to help buyer to
Okay.
close the deal, what in this case we need to sign?
You're just you're part of your commission to going towards your buyer's closing costs, right? What do we normally do?
Addendum?
Yeah, addendum,
nothing.
let title know, no? Or we could create another new form, if you want us to.
Just asking.
Yeah, just an addendum.
Just addendum.
Yeah, and we let title know, which is like we do now, so there's nothing different about that. Yeah, and regrettably, we do it all the time, right? Let's be honest, we do that a lot. Right, Leah?
So if you just have, let's say, it's 2 properties you showed them, you'd still do exclusive, but just for the 2 properties.
Sure,
correct?
sure.
So that if this person came in and, let's say, Tori said, oh, you do have a BBR, whatever, and, let me see it, because if it only has 2 properties and that's not one of them.
Well, I don't have it with me. I signed that like last week. I don't know. I don't have it. That's what the buyer's gonna say, right? He's not gonna whip it out and show it to
But I wouldn't
you.
just write it off, I'd get a hold of the agent or the.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah, I'm not saying walk away from the deal. Oh, by no means. But just don't get excited and write it up, because it could come back and bite you.
But you don't have to have a non-exclusive, you'd still have an exclusive with a couple properties.
If you only had it for a couple of properties.
Correct.
Right. Correct.
Because maybe there's
You only
some
had it for a couple,
buyers
for
that
certain
won't
properties.
Right.
sign that blanket.
Right.
In other words, you should ask that question.
Yeah, the moment they come up to you and say, I want to make an offer, Ann, oh, that's great,
Well, yeah,
you
but I
know?
mean, to address this, you would say, is it for specific properties?
Yes.
Did you sign for this
Correct.
property?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
dig in.
exactly. You really have to dig in, yeah. And do it really nice, really professional, not like a detective, or, you know, you're accusing them of a crime here or something. Be nice about it, you know? Chris? Exactly, right?
So on that note, like, you know, again, they don't really know what they're signing or what, you know, what they've signed or understand it completely sometimes. So if you ask, they say, yes, I have signed it, how do you know? Or say you ask them, I asked you, is it non-exclusive, is it exclusive? And they say they don't know, then what?
So let's say you're the buyer, and I'm the open house guy, and I ask you. So Chris, did you sign something with, you said you went to Keller Williams, yeah, what'd you sign?
BBRA.
Oh, good. When does, what's the length of that? Do you know how long it is
I
for?
don't know.
Okay, I'm sure you got a copy of it, right? Okay.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm getting at? I'm going to ask, yeah, and maybe I might, again, right there, I don't think at an open house, and maybe Damien has, maybe Wendy, some of the other guys, I've never typed up an offer at an open house.
Yeah.
I just never wanted to. That was just me. I wanted to at least think I was doing some homework, you know, and researching and going back and doing a CMA or whatever, you know. So I would say, look, you know, my open house ends in an hour. Why don't you get a copy of that from Ricky at Remax? I'm going to be back in my office at 3:30. You can meet with me, and I'll gladly type up the offer for you and bring that pre-approval letter with you. Something like that, okay? But you don't want to just slam it like, you know, absolutely, Joe, let's do it right now.
Yeah.
Because you can get in a little hot
And
water.
then have them give you a copy so you can review it and see.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything worse than an agent getting a code of ethics violation. I mean, there's a lot of things we can do bad, but code of ethics is one of the bad ones. And you don't want to have that kind of in your file at NAR or LVR or whatever it might be, you know?
Okay, another note on that same conversation is make sure, you know, we do everything digital for the most part now, but if you guys are doing something right, make sure that buyer gets a copy of that buyer. Because that gives a way for them to say, listen, you guys have not given me a copy of a contract, and that definitely can break NRS. Okay, that can violate NRS, that agent, that broker.
And I think all of you know this because you guys come to the meetings and open the newsletters, but if the buyer signs the BBRA and you put it in SkySlope, right? We all put it into SkySlope. Bada bing, bada boom, where's SkySlope? Real quick, Tim, where is it? Come on, there it is. We put it into SkySlope, then it comes to me. Some agents have called me and say, Tim, I put it into SkySlope 3 hours ago, you didn't sign it. I said, okay, give me 5 minutes, okay? Well, I didn't show them a house yet because you didn't sign it. Do I have to sign it? No, I know, all you know that. But if you're talking to an agent that comes in once every, 8 months, mention that to them, that I don't have to sign it. Mark doesn't have to sign it for you to show. But once I do sign it, like Damon said, you got to get them a copy, okay? And I'll admit, if I was still an agent, that's something I would forget to do as an agent. I really would, unless I put a sticky note on my computer. All right, Linda Savage, BBR, make sure I get her a copy by 5 p.m. Or else I'm going to forget, okay? But by getting it to her too, she knows we got a deal going here, baby. We're together now. We're going to work together and help get a house.
Contract, that's the first thing that they'll go to, or an agent will coach them on, do you have a copy of your agreement? And they'll say, no, I don't. Okay, let's start talking.
Or how many times over the years, learn this from Damon and from Jeff, where you have a listing and the seller wants to get out of it, right? And they've signed it, right? But you never sent it to the broker to sign. Yep. It's in your email. I never signed it. Mark nobody ever signed it. That seller could just get out of it because it was never signed by the broker, so it's useless, it's not valid. So sends up, that's why SkySlope is really so important. You guys, some of you don't get it. Well, not you guys get it. But that's why SkySlope is so important. Once you get it in there, we're home free. Okay, we don't have to worry about where it is, or it's in your computer at home, or in your cloud Apple account, or whatever it might be, okay? All right, kids, anything else? Everybody's good? Sign up for the Christmas party. Come on. We have about 40 of you so far, which is like 80. So there's 125 spots. So we have another 45 to go. So Sam, you can do a fantastic class momentarily, right? Canva? Okay. You guys grab a bagel, grab a banana. Let's hang out for Tim for a little bit here. And we will